It's hard to believe that today is the 20th anniversary of the release of Paper Mario. In North America at least, because it came out in Japan the previous year, and I always thought it came out in 2001 in all regions because of the title screen. And by the time the real 20th anniversary came along, I didn't have anything prepared. But I do this time, and not only are we gonna play the first game, but the whole original trilogy. The Paper Mario games are really special to me. I love so many things about them. The story, the characters, the gameplay, the aesthetic, the music, the bosses, the collectibles, the sound effects, and so much more. They're also some of the first RPGs I ever played and got me into the genre. I just have so much to thank the Paper Mario series for. Before we begin though, I should mention that there's gonna be major spoilers in this video. Yeah, I couldn't really help it, but oh well, I couldn't make this video without them. Anyway, let's not waste any more time and play Paper Mario 64. When we turn the game on, we get a really good opening cutscene. Up in the sky, a realm known as Star Haven exists. Inside, entities known as the Star Spirits have been watching over the world since the beginning of frickin' time. They watch over the Earth and are responsible for granting people's wishes using a powerful magic device called the Star Rod. But they only do so if the wisher is pure of heart. Bowser obviously isn't, so they never grant his wishes. So he decides to go up to Star Haven to give them hell. He steals the Star Rod and turns all of them into cards. Bowser pretty much has an infinity gauntlet with no side effects in his mitts, and now is practically a god. All hope is not lost though, because one star manages to escape. Whatever will he do? Yeah. The awesome title screen! So much nostalgia. Must I cry? The hardest part of making this whole video is honestly deciding what save file to delete. I've got my 100% save file, my first save file, my cousin's save file, and a save file for my last playthrough. I think I'll delete the last one, because it holds the least value to me. What should we name our save file? Well, I can't put Alpha Leaf because it's only 8 characters, so I guess I'll put Alpha Left. Yeah, Alpha Left. I should rename my YouTube channel that. After creating a new save, Mario and Luigi get a letter delivered to them by Princess Peach. She's throwing a huge celebration with many people from across the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond attending. She of course invites the Mario Bros, who happily walk over to the castle. In here, many characters are found, a lot of which play a bigger role later in the game, but that's not important because Mario makes his way to the top hallway so he can have some alone time with the damsel. Both of them are about to chat on her balcony when the building starts shaking. Out of the ground, straight below her castle, emerges Bowser's! The building gets transported skyward as Mario and Peach frantically run around with their hands in the air until it's in space. Next, Bowser barges in, and in doing so, he just sucked all the air and created a vacuum that sucks all the air out, and everyone will be dead right now, but apparently they're not. What happens next is a predetermined battle that ends the same way every time. Mario jumps on Bowser. Bowser swipes back a few times before he whips out his rod and makes himself invincible. Mario doesn't stand a chance. Bowser easily wins and throws him out the window. He could have just wished for Mario to die, but it's a kid's game. Mario falls to Earth and is gravely injured when what appears to be the Star Spirits arrive. They give the last of their power to heal Mario, but it's not enough to awaken him. A little Goomba girl named Goomba finds Mario. She calls for her family and he is saved. In a dream, our mustachioed plumber sees one of the Star Spirits. He tells him to go to a place called Shooting Star Summits, and then he wakes up. We're in the first area of the game now, Koopa Village, home to a Toad and a Goomba family. There's Goombario, a huge fan of the bros, Goombaria, the girl who found us, Goompapa, who doesn't let us leave because he's fixing a gate, Goommama and Goomma, the mom and grandma, and finally Goompa, who's working on a Vendura. When we return, the gate is finally fixed, but Kammy Koopa comes along and smashes the gate with a yellow block. Apparently Mario can't climb, so old M has to go back to Goompa and ask to borrow a hammer from him, but he's gone, and so is the Vendura, and we fall again. Goomba is fine, thankfully, but the hammer is missing. After a good minute or two of searching, it is retrieved. However, when the pair is about to leave, they bump into the lamest gang leader of all time, Junior Troopa, and we get our first fight. Now's a good time to explain the gameplay of Paper Mario. It's an RPG with platforming elements. You move around in a 2.5D world, jump around, talk to people, and overcome obstacles. When you run into enemies, you'll be taken into a battle sequence, where many options are available to you. Mario is able to jump, use his hammer, use items, do nothing, or run away. Jumping and using your hammer attacks that do the same amount of damage normally. Jumping can attack enemies in the air and hit any enemy. The hammer can hit any enemy with spikes without hurting you, as well as having the advantage of being an all-in-one attack to overcome enemies with high defense. There's also special collectibles called badges found throughout the game. Each badge has a special purpose, whether it be to increase Mario's HP, give you a new attack, or let you see enemies' HP. To equip badges, the player must have the right amount of a stat called BP, which can be increased by leveling up. FP is your MP, and it's pretty self-explanatory what everything else does. Even leveling up is different in this game. In most RPGs, the number of experience points needed to get to the next level is always different, but in this game it's always 100. Now, it's not like you can just grind on the weakest enemies in the game to level up. The higher level you are, the weaker the enemy, the less experience points they're gonna drop. And the experience points in this game are called star points. When you get 100 of them, you get to choose what you want to level up, either HP by 5, FP by 5, or BP by 3. I love the gameplay of Paper Mario. It's not like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or even Pokemon. It's its own thing and it works. Mario then defeats Junior Troopa, who runs off never to be seen again, and the duo makes their way home. Goomba gives Mario his first badge, and Goombario joins Mario's party. Now it's time to explain how partners work. Unlike most other RPGs, you can only have one other party member out at a time besides Mario. They all have a function outside of battle alongside 2 to 4 attacks inside. In this game, partners don't have HP, so no need to worry about that. Every partner in this game will have their own function, so everyone will be sure to get some screen time. Now, let's destroy that block and blaze down this trail, defeating Goombas along our way. After a while, we meet the Goomba Bros. Not too tough, honestly, but they mention their boss, the Goomba King. This guy's on some serious stuff to be this big. I mean, it's not like the leader of a country is that much larger than anyone else. Well, except for maybe Donald Trump. But, I don't want to get political here. I don't even know anything about him other than he's fat. His goons die in one hit, and we finish him in like 2 turns. Then they hide in the castle, and one of the goons has the brilliant idea to hide a switch that turns the castle into a bridge outside in the grass. Mario presses it, the Goomba King tries to trick Mario, too late, and they get launched into oblivion. Now the road to Toad Town is back open. After learning of the Goomba King's defeat, Bowser is pissed. All the star spirits are being held in fortresses around the world, each being protected by a loyal minion. The one nearest to Mario is the Koopa Bros fortress, and the king has his doubts. But then, the Koopa Bros rush in to reassure Bowser, with a special teamwork attack destined to crush Mario once and for all. But they left the fortress completely undefended, so Bowser is still pissed. As this is happening, the duo finally enter Toad Town, home to Luigi, a post office, a Toad House, a house owned by Merlin the Wizard, and Shooting Star Summit, the place we're supposed to go. Living there is a hot, faceless fortune teller, who Goombario has a crush on, along with her younger brother, who trades star pieces for badges. Star pieces are collectibles in the game, if I haven't already explained that. At the peak, the duo once again meet the star spirits, but it turns out they aren't really there, but more or less are making telepathic contact. It is explained to them how the star spirits have been scattered and imprisoned by Bowser's minions across the world. The one nearest is in Koopa Village, our next destination. Meanwhile, Princess Peach is sad she can't do anything to help Mario in her castle, when all of a sudden, a novice star named Twink comes to the rescue. Well, he can't really do much except give Peach's lucky star to Mario, but it's better than nothing. When Mario gets it, he's now able to do action commands, little actions you do while attacking to maximize damage. For instance, if you press A exactly right before you hit an enemy while jumping, you do double damage. Honestly, I find a lot of them annoying. This game is so much harder if you can't do them right, and some attacks won't do anything without getting the action commands right. It kinda takes away the best thing about an RPG, being able to use your mind instead of your reflexes. I'm not gonna lie though, it does make battles more engaging. Blocking our path to Koopa Village are a bunch of strange looking toads. Thankfully, we finally get to meet Merlin at least, who tells us a boring story and reveals that the toads are actually the Koopa Bros. Finish it right there! Come on! Oh, darn it, they got away! Well, guess we'll have to follow them. The road to Koopa Village is filled with Koopas, Goombas, and Paragoombas, but before long, we're there. As soon as we arrive, the town is infested with Fuzzies, my least favorite Mario enemy of all time. They've taken the shells of all the residents, and it's your job to get them back for them. One Koopa named Cooper is especially embarrassed about losing his shell to the Fuzzies. Mario and Goombario offer to help, and it gets away to the backwoods. After catching up to the Fuzzy, it's minigame time, only this one is just a generic watch and find type. After winning, Cooper returns and Big M gives him his shell back. Cooper is so happy he joins the party, and as soon as he does, a fight with a herd of Fuzzies commences. Cooper is great for attacking spiked enemies since he can hide in his shell, and outside of battle he can be thrown as a boomerang, kind of like a primitive version of Cappy. With him in tow, it's now possible to overcome the obstacles blocking us from the Koopa Bros fortress. It's one of those first dungeons of the game where you beat it in half an hour and never get stuck. I love the gritty walls and the brick buildup of the place. Makes me wonder what this place was before the Koopa Bros owned it. Near the top of the fortress, one of the Koopa Bros sets up a trap that every first-time player is gonna fall for. Actually, what am I saying? You always have to hit this block no matter what every time you play this game. The trio falls into a dungeon where we meet our first paper waifu, Bombette, years before Bowsette. I can't believe I wrote this down. What am I doing with my life? And she's not a trap or a meme. She's a sentient shell-filled powder thing, so, she once worked for the KBs. They worked her and the other bombs to exhaustion, so she blew up in their faces one day, and the Koopa Bros locked all of them in the dungeon. Bombette, desperate for freedom and revenge, joins Mario's party, and a new quartet escapes. She can blow stuff up, obviously, which opens up cracks in the wall like in Zelda, and inside of battle, her attacks do a ton of damage. After solving many more puzzles, we finally reach the top of the fort, and it's time for the Koopa Bros, Bowser? This was honestly really funny to me when I was like 12, and this is funny to me now. The parade float is pathetic, but the real fight that follows after its destruction is no joke. At this point of the game, most players will have 15, maybe 20 HP, and the Koopa Bros attack does 4 damage at the start of the fight, but it does less and less as more Koopa Bros are defeated. Still, 4 damage is a quarter of your HP, making it semi-challenging this early on. Once you've defeated 2 of them, it's a wrap for the TMNT knockoffs, only being a matter of time before they're knocked off the walkway and fall into their own dungeon, with the Bowser float blocking the path out. With them out of the way, the first Star Spirit, Eldstar, is free. Around the same time, Peach escapes her room and reads Bowser's diary, which is hilarious, honestly. I wonder if the Joker keeps his own diary. The Turtle Tyrant is stupid enough to write the location of the next Star Spirit in it, Dry Desert, which Twink relays to Mario. Now that Eldstar is free, he gives us the ability to use another cool mechanic of Paper Mario, Star Powers, and the one Eldstar teaches to Mario is Refresh. Each time you rescue a Star Spirit, you'll gain a new ability to use in battle, as well as your star meter rising up a number. To use them, players must have the right amount of star energy. Once it's used up, the only way to restore it is to either use a Toad House, wait for it to replenish slowly each turn, or to replenish it fast by using a turn to focus. They can completely turn around the battle for you, but have just enough nerve to keep them from making the game ridiculously easy. Alright, let's head back to Toad Aw, come on! This guy? I thought we beat you! Okay, so you're a little stronger. You can have an eggshell. Increase your defense. Big deal. And after defeat, he's never seen again. Now that we have Bombette in the crew, the boulder blocking the train to Dry Desert can be destroyed. And with that, the heroes enter the first of the 3 parts of this chapter, Mount Rugged. This place has a lot of stuff in it. There's Wacka, who's an innocent creature, but if you whack it with your hammer, it drops an awesome item each time, around 8 to 10 times. This item is called the Wacka's Bump, and it restores around 25 HP and 25 FP, but I feel bad to whack it. I just don't have the stomach to hurt an innocent creature. What makes it even sadder is how its dialogue gets more and more messed up the more abuse it takes, until it loses its memory. Once it's been whacked too many times, it goes away. It probably dies or something, honestly. I feel so depressed now, so Appleboy moves on to some upper parts of the mountain. A paratrooper named Paracarry loses the letters he was carrying for his job on the mountain, so it's your job to get them back. And after doing so, Paracarry joins your party. He can lift Mario across small gaps and do attacks in battle that are very powerful at this point of the adventure. With the Paracoopa in tow, it's now possible to reach the end of the mountain and enter the desert itself. But we're stopped by a giant bird who asks us who we are. If you choose Mario and Peach, a boss fight commences, but if you choose Luigi, you can actually skip the fight. The second part of Chapter 2, Dry Desert, kind of sucks, honestly. It gets off to a great start. We meet the best character in the game, Colorado. This guy is awesome, although he doesn't get nearly enough dialogue in this chapter. Anyway, the second Star Spirit is being held in a place called Dry Ruins, which is somewhere in the desert, but its exact location is a mystery. Our heroes must make their way to a town called, you guessed it, Dry Outpost. I mean, what'd you expect? But the desert in between is massive, with no map or anything, so any first-time players without a guide could get stuck for a while. The enemies are unforgiving, there are no item shops or very few heal points, and you'll have to guess your way everywhere. But guess what? You can just go straight! Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, there's other stuff, like a block that gives you an Ultra Shroom eventually, and a Super Block, but yeah, you can just go through there. So, yeah. The absolute worst thing are these tornadoes, that if you get sucked up by them, they take you to a random spot in the desert, so try to stay away from them. When you finally get to the outpost, there's a good chance you'll be stuck for a while again. The only person who knows anything about the ruins is Malfasta, and the guy isn't anywhere to be found. Thankfully, a guy named Sheik gives us some help. For a price, be prepared to go back in the desert if you don't want to use the internet or a player's guide, and gives us some cryptic information. Then we get to meet Malfasta, who turns out to be Sheik after all. Mario is given a device that will locate the ruins, and his terrible middle segment is over. Once you locate the ruins and enter it, the crew is greeted by a threatening message from an unknown entity. Throughout the dungeon you'll find Pokies, Swoopers, and Buzzy Beetles, as well as the Super Hammer, allowing our protagonist to break stone blocks now. At the bottom of the level, there's one of those collect all the pieces puzzles, with Chain Chomps guarding all the pieces. After all of them are found and arranged, a secret floor to the temple opens up, leading to the boss. His name is Tutton Koopa, and frankly, he's a huge pushover, only having 30 HP, which is less than a Condor. The attacks old Tutton Koopa throws aren't too impressive either, making this fight a cakewalk. After defeat, Tutton Koopa's own Chain Chomp turns on him, the second Star Spirit is rescued, Mario's star power rises to 2, and a new power is taught to him, Lullaby. Back at Bowser's castle, it's revealed that one of the Star Spirits has managed to escape its captor. This is good news too, because the boss guarding it is Tubba Blubba, a supposedly invincible opponent. Peach sneaks out of her room, and she and Twink discover from some guards that Tubba has a secret that would destroy him forever. As soon as she does though, she gets caught and thrown back into her room. Once we're in Toad Town again, we meet a guard toad who sees a ghost, and it turns out to be Pitmarf Roy! You're all too young to realize that reference. I mean, it's Bootler, who tells Mario that his master wants to see him and lives in the middle of Forever Forest. The Forever Forest is sort of like the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time, only with clues to guide you through instead of pure guesswork. It's kind of creepy though, at least to young kids. Once through the woods, you get to the mansion itself, Boo's Mansion, and I gotta say, that is the most stereotypical Mario haunted house name of all time. Like, seriously, the only more generic name I could think of would be like Haunted Mansion or Ghost Mansion. Like, you couldn't think of anything better? I mean, never mind. Inside, you collect items, play minigames for items, solve puzzles, and get the super boots, allowing Mario to do a spin jump. Well, it's not really like a spin jump, it looks more like a ground pound, so that's a lie. After getting this new power, use it to find a photograph of a Boo and put it in a portrait. Now access to the top floor is granted, and we get to meet my favorite character, Lady Bo, the master of Boo Mansion. Look, I know it's completely immature of me to say this at 18, but she is hot. I mean, look at those eyes, and listen to how sassy her dialogue is. I had such a big crush on her as a kid. Probably bigger than any other character except for Melody Pianissima and Cremia from Majora's Mask for some reason. I really don't get why my thing is Ghost Girls, but there's a lot of other problems in my life to resolve before that, so, I've been lost cause. Why am I still alive? Why am I here? As it turns out, the star spirit that escaped got captured by the Boos, but being the amazing entity she is, a deal is struck in. Since Tubba Blubba has been eating her people and Mario would have had to defeat him anyway, why not stop Tubba Blubba for her, and then get to free the Star Spirit anyway? Sounds like a fair deal to me. And even better, she joins your party. Both outside and inside a battle, she can turn Mario invisible. But for her basic attack, she slaps the crap out of enemies to death. One drawback though is for the action command, you have to basically move the control stick back and forth. One problem, this is the Nintendo 64. Guess what's gonna happen? Yeah, your control stick's gonna break. I think it's one of the main reasons why so many of my controllers are broken. That and the Mario Party games. It's a good thing I got a controller stick replacement, or I'd be screwed right now. The next area, Tubba Blubba's castle, gets me so paranoid. On the road there called Gusty Gulch, Tubba Blubba eats some more booze. Disturbing. Inside his castle, you have to use Bo's ability to get past these annoying UFOs, and the castle's overall one of those key-to-key dungeons. When Tubba Blubba himself shows up, you gotta hide behind his bed and wait for him to fall asleep. As it turns out, Tubba Blubba is a big pushover, and only became invincible because of Bowser. Everyone who has ever played this game opens a chest to find a key to the windmill, only it turns out that to be alive, the thing screams for help, and we are in for the chase of our lives. I don't know what it is, but I am always so terrified of this fling segment. It's not scary, but I'm scared of losing, if you get what I mean. I actually don't even know what happens if he catches up to you. But I don't want to find out. Thankfully, Mario and friends make it outside where some Boos hold down the door, giving them some time to escape to the windmill. At the bottom of the windmill is Tubba Blubba's heart. Disgusting, I know. Who thought this was a good idea, by the way? And how does Tubba Blubba survive without a heart in him at all times? Is he really the heart, or is his body himself? I don't understand the logic at all. The heart challenges Mario to a fight because, you know, it's pretty obvious that a single organ in the body can fight the entire body. This thing can do a super attack, but takes a turn to charge up, but Bo completely counters that. Just before utter annihilation, the heart runs back to Tubba Blubba, and now the real fight begins. Only no, there is no real fight. This guy only has 10 HP, so it's over. He regurgitates all the booze he consumed. Bo permanently joins the party, the third Star Spirit Scholar is saved, and Mario learns a new move, Starstorm. As you can guess by now, there's a Peach interlude scene next, where Bowser asks Peach about Mario's biggest fear, and you can answer them with stupid things like mushrooms and sodas. And Mario will actually get these items later on if you choose them, so it was amusing to me when I was 12. Okay, let's head back. Wait, this guy again? Oh, come on! And he's a vampire now, too. After defeat, he runs away, never to be seen again. Toad Town has been ruined though because of a Shy Guy invasion. They've stolen everything. Taste T's frying pan, the Bad Shop Guy's calculator, and even the bed of a Toad house. Around town, some citizens have heard some strange noises coming from a vacant house. I swear, this sentence is way scarier if you didn't know the context of it. Going straight to the source is a secret entrance to another world, Shy Guy's Toy Box. The area is relatively small compared to others, but it's a lot more different than just that. Throughout the chapter, you'll be hopping back and forth between a Toy Box and Toad Town to return items a Shy Guy stole and to heal. I like the area itself, the aesthetic, the music, all that. When I think of Paper Mario, this comes to mind. But the constant backtracking is a bummer, so this chapter has some very mixed opinions of mine. To some, it's their favorite chapter. For others, it's their least favorite, and I lean more towards the latter. It's not terrible, but it's not as fun as the others. Around a quarter of the way through is the most recognizable Paper Mario character of all time. A morbidly obese Shy Guy, or as he's called in the game, Gourmet Guy. I swear, almost everyone watching this video has seen this dude somewhere. He's just a meme at this point. Anyway, Gourmet Guy wants something to eat, but if you give him anything other than cake, he spits it out. And I don't want to waste my item, so I'm just gonna give him the cake right from the start. Yup, he's a meme alright! At the end of the chapter, you get into this dark room and find a ghost lantern who hates light, but for some reason he's holding a lantern. It's like a vampire wearing a necklace with wooden stakes or Superman having a hat made of kryptonite, like, what? After the creep's beaten, out of the lantern comes Y, the 6th party member. She can light dark rooms outside of battle, and in battle, she can pierce right through enemies' defenses, which is really useful, especially against a chapter boss, General Guy. The battle starts with the General throwing out various Shy Guy formations to destroy Mario, like Stilt Guys and Shy Guy stacks. Once they're beat, the coward hides in a tank that has really good defense. Fortunately for us, Watt is super effective against him, since the tank has high defense but low HP. Pretty soon, the General has to retreat, the 4th Star Spirit Muscular is rescued, and Mario learns Chill Out. Now it's time for the hardest and my least favorite part of the game, the Chapter 4 Peach Interlude sequence. First off, you have to sneak past all these guards to find Gourmet Guy in the dining room. He'll give us some information on the whereabouts of the 5th Star Spirit, but only if we bake him a cake. Sexist Stereotypes 101! Downstairs in the kitchen, things get tense, because to bake the cake, you basically have to play a minigame and do perfectly in it. Press A a lot of times, get the ingredients in the right order, with zero margin of error, and worst of all, having to put the cake in the oven for exactly 30 seconds. If you're off by 1 second, time to do it all over again. At least in the modern day, we have phones and stuff, and the stopwatch apps on them. When I was a kid, I had to count off the seconds exactly. I remember having to do this over and over again. I am so psyched to do this right on the first time this time. Oh boy, now it's time for my favorite chapter of the game. Before leaving, we once again run into my favorite character, Colorado. He too wants to go to the island to find ancient artifacts, but unfortunately for everyone, there's no boat to be found. Fortunately, a whale ate something that it wasn't supposed to, and we fight it, and the whale is so grateful he agrees to take us over there. Lava Lava Island is inhabited by Yoshis, a volcano, and this fish. The route to the volcano is blocked off, and unfortunately, that's where we were supposed to go. Once we get back to the village, all the Yoshi kids have gone hide and seek in a jungle, getting lost along their way. The parents do absolutely nothing except wave their hands in the air and run around in circles, leaving Mario to do everything for them. We meet the fish again, who's supposed to be the Yoshi's babysitter. Her name is Sushi. She comes along with us to help find the Yoshi kids and becomes our 7th party member. This explanation card looks so wrong on so many levels. Anyway, outside of battle, she can transport Mario across water, while in battle, she can use water-based attacks in a belly flop. One by one, the Yoshi kids are rescued until they're all back home safe and sound, where the Yoshi Chief gives us the Jade Raven. In the jungle of the island lives a powerful creature named Raphael Raven, who helps whenever Lava Lava's in trouble. Using the Jade Raven on a statue opens a secret route to his home. When Mario meets him, it's revealed that he already knew he was coming. The Ravens and his fellows help Mario by creating a contraption that will allow them to get into the volcano. The volcano is both awesome and sucky at the same time. There's these platforms that move across lava, and if you miss, you'll be launched back and take damage, making this the only time where you can die from bad platforming. On the other hand, the puzzles inside the volcano are pretty creative and fun, with Mario getting a new hammer, the Ultra Hammer, allowing him to break metal blocks now. Going further down into the fiery cavern, we find traps and a manner of other lethal things, before reaching Lava Piranha. Sushi is really good against this boss with her water-based attacks, and even Colorado joins in the fun.
Mario, you shan't fight alone! Colorado to the rescue! Hiya! Ow! 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 Hot! It burns! Really? So sorry, old chap. Well, that's all I can do at the moment. Good luck with all this.
Phew, thank goodness. We really couldn't have beaten him without him. Anyway, the bosses has 2 phases, with the second being on fire as Colorado demonstrated. Not really that hard, honestly, although it does do more damage to you than most bosses up to this point. It's after this that's interesting. You know what? I'm gonna try something new for a change.
Mario, this way, we must hurry.
The treasure doesn't seem to be anywhere around here. God, where could it be? Oh, ha, the treasure! No, it's, some sort of starfish? This won't do. The adventure's never over until the treasure is found. Oh, I got it. Yes, of course. Perhaps that terrible fiery monster he was hiding somewhere. Yes, that's it. I'll just go run back and check. What's this? Trembling then? Probably nothing. Kids with fireworks, no doubt. Now after that treasure.
No, wait!
Oh, hot! So hot! That's lava, isn't it? It's coming near! We must flee! No, the treasure is still here! I just know it!
Mario, the volcano's gonna erupt at any time now. It's far too dangerous to go back the way you came. We have to escape another way. A few slight wind coming from this cracked wall. There could be room beyond. Mario, can you blow up this wall?
Oh yes, freedom!
Mario, hurry, the lava's getting higher.
Oh yes! I knew it at last! The treasure is right there! So close, can't do this by the stars unless my life with my treasure! Allah, it's only 2 inches away! If only I could jump a little higher! Wait, what? No, what are you doing? Hey, put me down! No! It's destroying the treasure! My treasure! No! Oh no! The treasure! How could you? My treasure! No! My treasure! My treasure!
Back at Peach's castle, we get this weird, sort of creepy dialogue where Peach insists that she's quote-unquote delicate. Not really a word I think I would ever use to describe anyone, that anyone would want themselves to be described by. Yeah, Peach and Twink go around the castle and play a minigame and find out the whereabouts of the next star spirit. Right after this, the volcano has safely stopped erupting, and Mario learns a new star power from Mistar, Smooch. We get the treasure that was blown out of the volcano for Colorado, and he gives us a Bulbulb Seed. Bulbulb Seeds are collectibles our heroes have collected across the Mushroom Kingdom, and are required to enter the next chapter. There's one in Toad Town, one on Mount Rugged, one in Forever Forest, and the one we just got. Now it's time to say goodbye to this lethal island and wait. Oh no, not this guy again! Great, he's flying. And spiked himself. Good thing he wasted all his energy swimming here. Not gonna lie, this is another one of those 12-year-old me laughing my butt off moments. After getting all the Bulbulb Seed and giving them to the girl in the Toad Town Flower Garden, a gateway opens to flower fields. The sun has been blocked off by a lot of clouds made by a dude called Huff and Puff, so all the sentient plants in the field will die unless he's stopped. Overall, this is my least favorite chapter in the game. I don't know why, it just is. I guess it could be because of how the way the area works. You go on this path to find a plant character who gives you an item. Next there's a fruit, and you use it to get to the next area after that. Rinse and repeat. Plus, there's no heal areas, meaning players have to go back and forth between Toad Town to heal, which gets really annoying after a while. There's not a whole lot of interesting characters, very few interesting puzzles, and the whole theme of it is just boring. Sorry if this chapter is your favorite, but it's not for me. And these flowers can be really big jerks. Take for example, this flower right here. There's this Lily who needs a water stone to fill her area with water, and she doesn't do it, she'll drop and die. But this flower won't give it to Mario unless he finds something else to trade it in return. I mean, what a jerk flower. Strangest of all though is in this tower lives the sun. Yes, the sun. He doesn't even rise up in the sky anymore because of Huff and Puff's clouds that block his light. So he just sits here. And I just find it so weird because we don't see any other instances in a game of the sun being missing. So I guess this is the sun of an alternate universe or something, or realm, I don't know. While leaving, Mario runs into another mini-boss, Spike, who dies in 3 hits or something. Afterwards, he mans up, letting Mario do his worst to him, only for his girlfriend to show up and ruin everything. His real name is Lackluster, and after Mario forgives him, he becomes the 8th and final member of our party. His abilities include letting Mario get on his cloud with him, allowing us to get across spikes, and he can also throw spiky balls. With him in tow, it's now possible to go down to Toad Town sewers to get the Ultra Boots, but you don't have to get them until Chapter 7 if you don't want to, but it's still a good idea since it raises your attack power, so I'd recommend doing it. Another thing you can do is solve this annoying puzzle since it's now possible to cross spikes, giving us access to the machine creating all the clouds, which we of course destroy. With that, the sun rises to the sky once again, the heroes plant a beanstalk which grows, giving a route to the boss. Huff and Puff is one of those bosses that's hard but also short. His attacks do a lot of damage. When you damage him, it creates enemies, and if you don't destroy these enemies by the end of the turn, Huff and Puff becomes a cannibal and restores his HP. Lackluster is really useful in this fight because of his ability to attack multiple enemies in the air at once, without using a whole lot of FP. And I am so glad I got a controller stick replacement, or my controller would be broken by now. If you're gonna beat this boss, you've gotta be quick, which is why getting the Ultra Boots makes this so much easier. After a while, Huff and Puff is beaten, with me barely having any health left. After that, the 6th Star Spirit Clever is saved, and Mario learns a new power, Timeout. When Mario gets back to Toad Town, Merlin once again calls for him because this time he has a visitor. His son at Starborn Valley needs to tell Mario something, knowing the location of the final Star Spirit. Going down Toad Town sewers, a big blue door that was locked shut is now unlocked, leading to a giant pipe. Going down the pipe, you get to Shiver City. Shiver City is lighthearted with tons of cute penguins, happy music, and your Christmas/wintertime vibe. Unfortunately, you can't get past this gate that leads to the valley without the mayor's permission, so you go back there and find the guy dead. And guess who gets accused of murder? That's right, you do. Instead of going to jail, Mario has to find the real murderer to prove he's innocent, but that's stupid because what if the guy goes around killing more people? The prime suspect besides you is an author and friend of the mayor's, Herringway, the mystery novelist. We crack the pond open, get a key, go into a warehouse, fall down a chimney, and end up in his house to tell him everything that's going on. Once getting there with him, the mayor wakes up, revealing to everyone that he just slipped and fell. Did anyone check for a heartbeat or pulse? I mean, why wasn't he even taken to the hospital? And if you think this is dark for Mario standards, just wait until we get the 1000-year door in Super because this completely blows it out of the water. In any case, now that the mayor's okay, our protagonists are now free to leave Shiver City and go into Starborn Valley. Okay, oh come on, not this guy again. Great, he can learn magic. Still no match for us, though, kid. After defeat, he freezes, never to be seen again. The valley is guarded by a mysterious creature that turns out to be a bunch of star kids. There we meet Merlin's son, Merle. He tells us about the location of the final star spirit, the Crystal Palace. The method of entry to the palace has been all but forgotten, except that it has to do something with clothing. Merle gives Mario a scarf and he leaves Starborn Valley and heads back to Shiver City, talks to the mayor and gets a bucket. Back at the beginning of the path to Starborn lies a row of snowmen. Only one doesn't have a scarf, and the other doesn't have a hat. Using the items, we get the snowmen to come to life where they open a door to the mountain that Crystal Palace sits on. The mountain has some very strong enemies with quite a bit of HP, not to mention they always come in groups. Halfway through the mountain is a secret area, home to the spirit of an ancestor of Merlin and his relatives. She tells a really long story, like her number of generation grandson. And Mario just doesn't fall asleep this time. Oh no, he gets a snot bubble growing out of his nose. Gross. Actually, is this even possible? Because I'm wondering, but I don't want to look this up. Ugh. Moving on. When she does wake him up, she gives him a star key, opening a way up higher on the mountain. Towards the top, one of those blanket ghosts shows up and shapeshifts into Cooper. Thankfully, that's sorted out okay, and we enter the Crystal Palace itself. It's one of those mirror-like dungeons where you need to switch between two planes of existence. There's also places where, let's say, a switch only appears in a mirror, but you can still hit it. Like the outside, doppelgangers show up, first being semi-convincing, then getting to the point of this. Let's be honest, everyone thinks that somehow Cooper got transformed into someone else, but no, these are just really bad disguises. I do really like the music of this area. While we're at it, the tune's mysterious, slightly creepy, and has a chill to it. Really nice overall. The boss of Chapter 7, the Crystal King, is fairly tough. He has attacks that will do a lot of damage. He can cast illusions of himself to try to get the player to waste turns, and worst of all, he can heal 20 HP at a time. So if you're gonna do this, you've gotta do the same strategy as the last boss. Attack with all your big guns as soon as possible. Sure, he's gonna heal, but there are no extra forms or phases, making going all out effective. Out of all the bosses in the game, except the last one, this is probably the hardest, but I got lucky and beat him in under 6 minutes. That could just be because I've played through this game so many times, but I like to think that I'm lucky. With the last of Bowser's minions dethroned, the 7th and final Star Spirit Kalmar is rescued. We learn up, and away, and it's time for the final chapter. Now that all the Star Spirits are saved, the portal opens back at Shooting Star Summit, leading to Star Haven. Inhabited by stars and home of the spirits, it's the final town in the game. They give Mario a final power, Star Beam, allowing him to take away Bowser's invincibility, and they also give him a ship to get to the castle. As they fly up in the sky, all the Toads wish for the safety of the princess, and Shroom Cake. Bowser's castle is of course the hardest part of the game. Hard puzzles, few heal spots, almost no places to buy anything, and very strong enemies. Oh, and he's sentient doors with Bowser's face, who are tricky jerks. Well, at least they keep their word. Oh, and I'll never forget this part, no matter how long I live. I'm flushing the toilet. Towards halfway through the castle, there's a memory game, which I failed. If you do, enjoy fighting 3 of the literal toughest enemies in the game. I really hate some of these segments though. The Stark Room one, the Switch one, and the one where you have to choose the right path. At the very end, the Koopa Bros return! Aw man, I can't wait to fight these guys oh, no! Come on! Not this guy again! He's the toughest ever, using every skill he's used, from extra defense, magic, and flying while spiked. After defeat, he runs away, never to be seen. Oh, okay, we all know he's gonna come back. When that's over, we finally reach Peach's castle on top of his, and it's time for the final boss. Making his way to the top floor, Bowser and Mario have their final battle. Bowser uses the Star Rod to make himself invincible, followed by Mario using the Star Beam to take away its power. Bowser isn't hard at all, making you think this fight was anticlimactic. But all of a sudden, it turns out this wasn't the final battle after all. Bowser takes Peach to the very top, and now it's the real endgame. The Koopa King uses the Star Rod, combined with Kammy Koopa's magic, and an arena machine to give him so much power, the Star Beam no longer affects him. Things are looking bad when Twink comes in to rescue Peach. Kammy Koopa challenges the duo, leading to the lamest battle in the game. Peach's focus keeps making Twink stronger and stronger until Kammy Koopa is helpless. With her out of the way, Peach wishes with all her power and might, and along with Twink, the Star Spirit's power is increased manyfold, upgrading the Star Beam to the Peach Beam. The Peach Beam allows Mario to temporarily disable Bowser's shield, but the reptile is no pushover. His attacks do a lot of damage. He can stun your partner, poison you, and like every other late boss in the game, he can heal. Not just heal, but heal a lot, like 30 HP at a time. Not to mention his max HP is 100, and when he turns invincible you have to waste a turn to destroy his shield again. It seems like every time you get close to defeating him he heals, but every time he does he has less than the last time. Use all of your powerful attacks, equip good badges, bring good items, choose Watt for your partner, and pray to the stars for victory. Eventually Bowser will be stupid and not heal, giving you the opening you need to destroy him once and for all. Now that he's finished, the Star Rod has returned to the Star Spirits. But oh no, the machine used to power up the Koopa King has malfunctioned, creating a huge explosion blowing Bowser and Kammy Koopa away. Thankfully, with all their power restored, the Star Spirits protect everyone else along with the castle, bringing it down back to the original spot. The adventure is over, the princess is safe, everyone's okay, and the Star Spirits thank Mario from the bottom of their hearts. Also, Twink is rewarded for all his hard work and determination, earning a spot among the stars. Before leaving, Twink wants to say something to Peach, but is too shy to say it. Cliché, and kind of awkward. Poor guy though. I know what crushes are like, dude, I know. Several days pass and a party is held at Peach's castle with many characters throughout the game attending. There's all your partners, the magician family, Toads, along with many, many more NPCs throughout the world. Peach congratulates everyone, and now we get to see one of the best credit sequences of a video game ever. A parade where we get to see even more characters, including Luigi. The floats have so much detail dedicated to them too. The background changes, it just feels so rewarding to see. Even Junior Troopa shows up once again in his final appearance. Sadly, the other two pre-Sticker Star Paper Mario games don't really have their own parade, which is disappointing because I freaking love it. Afterwards, Peach and Mario head over to his house to watch the fireworks, ending the story. And that was Paper Mario, one of my favorite games of all time, ranking around, I'd say, 5th place. I love this game so much, but I can't lie, this playthrough wasn't as much fun as earlier ones. I mean, this is my 7th playthrough and all, but I still had loads of fun. It's a masterpiece. The worlds, the story, a unique style of graphics and gameplay, the characters, music, etc. It was a real treat to make this video. Up to this point, this is probably the best one I've ever made. At least I hope so, but knowing me, this video is gonna be trash still. For me, the most unbelievable thing about Paper Mario, other than it being 20 years old, is that there's no remake. Oh well, at least we got sequels. We got 2 good ones, 1 crappy one, 1 mediocre one, and 1 I've actually haven't played yet. And like I said before, there's gonna be videos about the next 2 installments in the series. Stay tuned everyone for next time, where we play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on the GameCube. This has been Josh from Alpha Leaf Gaming signing out.